Hey, this is Cole. I want to do a drum breakdown video of the mix I did for my most recent video because I had a lot of people asking me what I was doing. And so I want to show exactly what it was that was making all that cool distortion and everything. And so here's a picture of me actually playing the drums from the front. Pretty standard setup, except for like a couple things. So the snare mic, it was a SM56, which is a predecessor of the SM57. Basically, it's a little more rounder tone, a little less transient than the 57, but pretty much the same thing. So you have that for the snare top. You can't see it exactly there, but in the other drum video you can. Bottom is a 57. The toms are just 57s on the top, nothing else. Then the kick drum, there is a 421, pretty close to the beater head. And then for the outside kick, if you look at the bottom of the picture, it is my Coles 4038. And that is being used as the outside kick mic. And I have a pop filter in front of it because I was a little nervous of the kick drum possibly breaking the ribbon. I think it was fine from that distance, honestly, but better safe than sorry. And also when it was up, we thought that it sounded great. So for overheads, I'm pretty sure we used some kind of ribbon. I just don't remember what it was. And then there were two room mics, which were ribbons as well, and I can't remember exactly what those were, unfortunately. But anyways, that is the mic setup for that. And then as for the mixing and stuff, long story short, I'm basically just sending the drums to distortion pedal. That's really it. So let me play it so you can actually hear what it is, and then I want to play it without everything so you can really hear like what it was starting from. Here we go. All right, now this is with everything off. So it's way, way different. So let me just go through each one just real quick. So starting with the kick. This is that inside 421 mic. Now, I thought there was a bit of a basketball sound to it. So I just use this API. This is like my favorite plugin. And I just took out this boxiness. Just wasn't a big fan of it. So I took it out. And then I just added more attack at 5K. It was like that and that. I still felt like it needed a little more punch. And so I use, this is also a favorite plugin of mine, Transient Shaper. Just a little difference. Here is the outside kick. I thought that just gave it a little more weight because I thought the mic itself just sounds amazing. Coles are just amazing. Absolute favorite. Now this sub kick is just like the reverse speaker, but it's like it looks like a guitar cab. And this is what it sounds like. And then I added this. Just to really get lows. And then I wanted to have a little more punch, so I did another transient shaper on this. So all three. And then let's go to the snare. So that's that SM56 by itself. And I really didn't do anything actually with the EQ. This is another favorite plugin of mine. It's awesome. I was messing around with settings and whatnot, but I guess I just took off 27 hertz and that's it. So this is what that sounds like. Really not even a big difference, but the bigger difference is this distressor. Now with the snare bottom. So I just felt like the distressor was just tucking in the snare a little more. I probably make some adjustments now, like hearing it, but it's all good. I'm going to skip the toms for now and go to the overheads. And I was playing around with this compressor on the overheads. I think it just wasn't really needing it, but I guess it was still engaged, so I left it. But the big thing that is changing the sound is this again. So let's hear that. So really just cutting out, cutting out boxiness at 820, just some stuff I wasn't really liking. And then I was just adding a little more, crispiness at 6.8. Nothing crazy. And then for the rooms, I tried the distressor, like really slamming them, but with the whole mix, wasn't really liking it, so this is just the rooms. A lot of nice low end. So, and then with the toms, let's see if I can find a spot. This is probably it. No, that's here. I know. Actually, I'm not even sure if I really hit the toms that much, but it's really at the end. So let's see what I did. Yeah, I didn't even really do anything. I just did a high pass filter at 82. That's it. So, and then I just gated it. And I wasn't being very specific with these gates at all. It was really just, I just didn't want that much bleed. Yeah, I did the same thing for the floor tom as well. So let's do these together. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. So, that brings us to this mix. Oh, sorry. Let me start it over again. So now the big thing, really. So I have this chain. I was playing around with the toms, going through a chamber send. It's really not doing anything, and I just I left it. I honestly I could delete it, and it really would not make a difference. I was also playing around with a mono plate over here. So really, the only thing that is happening is I'm sending it through this distortion pedal. And then I'm also sending it through, well, I'm also EQing it. There was just some stuff I wanted to cut out. And I'll show you that in a second. But really, before I even got to this of the distortion pedal, I was working on the master bus. So this is something I do all the time, and it makes such a huge difference. I will usually just put it on 60 and one of the higher frequencies, and then just play with the bandwidth and just boost it like 1 and 1. And all it does is it makes the low end and high end just pop out more, and it's just really, really lovely. And this is only drums right now, but if you are mixing a song, it is really nice. Like the bass just really comes alive. So anyways, this is without it and then with it. So that's just something I always do. Then I was just playing around with the bus, compressor, not doing crazy stuff. And I mean, it's nothing crazy. I'm, maybe doing a dB or two at most. 2-to-1 ratio, slowest attack, fastest release. I left the tone. I did switch it to the old feedback. And then I think the only weird thing is just the link. I just have it so it's not reacting to both sides equally. And I mean, that's really it. Then the next thing is I have this tape machine on, and this is my favorite. Don't even change the settings, just the default settings. But the thing is, for some reason, and this could just be me, I like the DSP version more than the native version. It could just be me, but I don't know. I like this one, so I just went with it. So here we go. And this, I think, just really gives the low end a really nice boost and just like clarity and just overall, I don't know, I feel like this can just really change the sound in a great way. So once I got to this point, I thought the drums were just sounding a bit dry, and so I know you're not supposed to do this technically, but at this point I was just having fun and just messing around. And so I tried putting a reverb on the master bus. And so this is what it sounds like with it. I liked it. And then I want to mess around with delay. And I just did such a minimal delay, just adding a little bit of slapback essentially. Here's with it. So it's something that's like really hard to hear, honestly. Um, and then at this point, I was like, you know what? Let me see what I can do. Like, just, I don't know, just like do something really, really weird. And so, as you see here, I was trying to just put on the master bus the distortion plugin. And it worked, but I just didn't really have any control over it. So I sent all my drums um, into a drum folder. So I'm, this is my drum bus right here. Then from that, I'm sending to what I'm calling raw. I first was using the Universal Audio raw pedal, but I wasn't liking it as much as the Pro Tools Black Up Distortion. This is a little bit of a secret weapon of mine. It is so underrated. You can put this on anything. I will put this on delays. There's a video I did where I'm doing a snare delay and then distorting it. It just is one of the coolest plugins. And I fell into it by accident because I was looking for something else. And it popped up. And then, yeah. So anyways, let me do it without the EQ. So this is with everything. So pretty cool. The only thing though was I thought it was just kind of too much, and so I did this EQ. And I just thought that made the drums pop out a little more. And so then after that, I just did a little bit of boost at 62. And I just love the way that the distortion was making the groove. And what was cool was that the Echo Boy was also feeding in with that groove. So so after that, just made these little EQ adjustments. Made things pop out, and then I just added some gain with a limiter. I wasn't even really messing with this, and this is, watch your ears, it's gonna be louder. Here we go. And that's it. So thanks for watching. If there's another question you guys have or anything else you want to see, just let me know in the comments, and be glad to help out. All right.